You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Good evening and welcome to Tarot Mood, a new TFR show covering disgustingly relatable, irreverent, real-life tarot type topics for your esoteric entertainment. I'm Natalie Meraki, your host, and tonight I have breaking news regarding stretching and your butthole. If you stretch, you absolutely have Satan in your butthole. You don't want Satan in your butthole, you say? Well, in the next part of this obnoxiously long ad disguised as free help, I'm going to tell you how to free your butthole from demons and their bitey teethies. But first, let me tell all the demon-loving rebels the reason that Satan is not sexy. Satan will keep you loaded in chocolate and weed and say, "Shh, you worked hard for this. You deserve it." Satan will have you drinking Kool-Aid and telling you it's water. Antichrist shiz for real. Satan will massage your shoulders and tell you that you have complete personal freedom. Amazing, right? Wrong. Touch gets your poot chakra all riled up and leads to earthly sins. Come on. And freedom? We are all slaves to Jesus and his dad's creepy ghost friend. Submit or live in conscious agony. Satan will tickle you at first, but before you know, those big teethy fangy things will come out and he will bite your butthole. Very nasty. Satan will lead you to esoteric knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge leads to misery, slaps apple from Eve's adorably ignorant hand. If your butthole is already raw and stinging from the wrath of your bad decision-making, do not despair. There are two options, and two options only available to you in any case, but especially this one. 1, risk entering a Catholic church. 2, go ahead and give in to Satan, you heathen. Hire Tarot Mood for all your esoteric evil needs. Tarot, Oracle, Pendulum, Reiki, shower shiz. Sometimes I have visions in the shower. That's not what it sounds like. Past life aggression, when someone fucked you in a past life and you still mad. Fart spells, dark taco hell magic. Clarification, code for knowledge, tisk, naughty knowledge. And empowerment. Gasp. We wouldn't recommend either choice, and you should probably just watch some more TV. But whatever, namaste. Book a reading today. We're not giving a discount, but your soul is on the line. Send a fart message to Satan or get it at www.tarotmood.com, $25 holler. If you'd like to know more about metaphysical warnings from Tarot Mood, head over to my YouTube at Natalie Meraki and subscribe and share, please. Let's fix your boring evening with psychic entertainer and Salem, Massachusetts psychic fair reader, Joseph Rodgers. I'll harass the crap out of him, and then we'll let the callers harass the crap out of him in the second half of the show. It's going to be great, friends. Joseph Rodgers is a 28-year-old former atheist turned occultist, and he's a sheet metal worker, a psychic entertainer, an artist, and occasionally a YouTuber. He currently lives in Salem, Massachusetts, where he reads tarot at the famous psychic fair. Joseph, how many demons have you packed along in your butthole for the show, and did they bring any cocaine?
Well, currently I have 8 demons in my butthole, at least. and we have so much cocaine. I probably shouldn't say that on the radio, but we do.
Well, that's good to know. And let's just assume that you're in a country right now where you're allowed to have cocaine. And I mean, I think the real problem is demons being in your butthole is pretty much taboo anywhere. But, you're a rebel, aren't you?
Well, yeah, up there. They tickle.
They do tickle, but they will bite with their big teethy, fangy, teethy things. So you be careful about that. All right? All right?
Yeah, well, sometimes I feel their claws in my colon, but I haven't felt any teeth yet. So.
What a kink. Well, I have exciting news, Moodies. Tarot Mood is now going to be a 2-hour broadcast of metaphysical mayhem. So you probably just listened to all of that I just said, and you're like, oh, great, 2 hours of this now. So hour 1 will be interviews, and hour 2 will be bad tarot readings, and the entire show will still be a bunch of crazy shit. So I'm very excited to have Joseph on the show tonight. I myself have had the pleasure of one of his readings, and it was kind of hot. Like, if you want a sexy masculine reading that's also very thoughtful and caring, I would definitely message him for an online reading. Like, I don't know, at the end, he was like, all right, get some sleep. And I was like, yes, daddy. Joseph is just a really nice dude, and he knows his stuff. I keep telling him that he should own a store because he knows everything, and it's always really, like, he's always willing to help. And he's a Sagittarius, so what's not to love? Am I right? Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Joseph. I was wondering, what got you into tarot reading?
Okay, so I mean, do you want the long version of that or the short version of that?
The long version, absolutely. I have a 2-hour show now.
Okay, well, I'll start with the short version, which is someone bet that I couldn't. They were like, oh, you think you're so slick with your ceremonial magic and your Lamesse Noir and your nude altars and all that kind of stuff. But you are probably such like a dimwit that you couldn't read the cards. And they were actually kind of right. I learned a lot of hard lessons from my very first Thoth deck. Other than that, it was kind of
you're a Thoth reader, aren't you?
It's my preference. I read weight. If I'm reading at a fair or a convention or out of a shop in Salem, I might read a weight deck if the people look like they can't handle a Thoth deck. And I've been really digging on the Tarot of the Spirit because it's a Thoth deck, but it's a little more gentle and feminine than your standard Thoth deck, so it doesn't beat people up as much.
Oh, cool.
My first Thoth deck beat me up really bad.
Oh, really?
And I had one of my mentors along this crazy journey that it's been actually told me that she threw away a Thoth deck because she thought it was creating bad luck for her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she was doing some really stupid stuff, and like the Thoth deck was just kind of like making fun of her for. It's like how I sent my mom a trimmed Thoth deck that you
fucked up the trim, so you sent it to your mom, didn't you?
Huh?
You fucked up the trim, so you sent it to your mom.
Yeah, I trimmed it, and I
don't trim your decks, people. Don't do it.
Well, I think it unleashes the artwork on the Thoth deck. And my mom has small hands because of a birth defect, so it's perfect trimmed. It's nice and small. Right. And I put a spirit. I put Glossier Lavalis into it and sent it to her. And she said she carries it in her purse, and she says it's like having a rude teenager in her purse.
I love that. That's so cool. So I really want to know why people hate those decks or Thoth decks so much, but I want you to finish your story about how you got into tarot. So people said you could started on a dare, basically.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had my art in a local shop, and they were kind of like, yeah, you're doing the art, you're doing the ceremonial stuff. And I didn't really understand that at the time either, like, because I was still a neophyte. I'm still a total neophyte. I'm not any kind of like shaman and like a newbie. I'm a noob.
Okay.
But I was like a mega noob at the time, and I
There's
had a
no way
huge
you're a
ego too,
noob.
because a lot of mega noobs have like huge egos because they manifest a couple things and then they're like, oh hell yeah, I'm a living god, blah blah
Mhm.
blah, and they they don't realize that like we're all still just regular people. Everyone's a living god. That's not what the metaphor that's
That's
not
right.
what the metaphor is, you know.
Mhm.
But so basically I was kind of being a douche nozzle, and I mean that might be a little harsh on myself, but
I think it's
someone was
hilarious.
like, oh well, you can, yeah, you can do this, blah blah blah, but I bet you couldn't read the cards, and you need to read the cards to be a pro occultist, whatever that means. So I bought a deck of cards, and I like ate and like slept and like brushed my teeth to the cards. Crazy intense style doing. I asked the spirit King Paimon to help me learn them. And I was like forcing myself to have lucid dreams about them and sleeping with them under my pillow and like spreading them all across the floor and like building magic circles with them and ringing my bell and doing my incense and all that, and like I just dove in so hardcore to
Mhm.
learn them, and I learned them in like 2 or 3 months.
That's great.
It's actually not. It's the thing about divination is it's connecting with like our intuition and our connection to like the higher source. And if you put a legitimate effort into the cards, it's not like learning the trumpet or something where it takes you years to be able to play a trumpet in front of a crowd. It's something that if you commit to it, you can learn how to do proper divination in 2 or 3 months, because it's
Right.
something that I'll have
And
access to.
it's an art form, and it's gonna, it's something that you never stop learning, but at the same time you can become reasonably good at it very quickly if you put that effort into it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think everyone should put that kind of effort into like everything they do.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah. I mean, life is magic. Life is art. So,
yeah, it reminds me a individual named Peter Gilmore. He wrote an article, essay called "The Magic of Mastery," and I always think about that, where he says like it's great to like have your zodiacal glyphs memorized and all that kind of stuff, but every time you learn a skill, it looks like you're performing magic, like you've made like some kind of like Faustian deal with the devil, even though it's just reaping the rewards of what you've put into it.
yeah. Well, I read somewhere, maybe a couple different places actually, that magic is basically technology that we just don't understand yet. And so, sometimes we may get a handle on that, and sometimes it may elude us.
Yeah, I think, and I think that magic is creating change in accordance with one's true will. Um, but I mean, it's also, the more I do it, the more I realize too, it's not just creating change. It's like observing the changes around you and having the peace to accept them. And then, also having the audacity to change them when you can, but the peace to accept them when you can't. And then we just started sounding like a 12-step meeting, but
Oh, right. Yeah.
it's kind of the truth. Like you
Yes.
start standing back and absorbing all these patterns all around you, and it's like, okay, well, I can shift this kind of stuff and in my direction to my benefit, but then this stuff right here, I just need to like let the shitstorm pass. And that's kind of where divination comes in a lot, in my opinion, is it allows you to realize, it allows you to step back from your ego a little bit and take a look at what's really going on around you. And
Hmm.
also, it's also really useful, because when you do, I read this in a book, I believe the book Modern Magic. I guess I'm going to have to post titles and links on my Facebook page because I'm not going to remember any authors or anything.
Yeah,
But
you
I
guys
know,
can find him on Facebook at Path of the Magus, right?
yep, PATHOFTHE Magus. Path of the Magus or Magus, they're both correct.
Sorry. Magus
Yeah,
sounds
no,
better.
both correct. Yeah, I like Magus better. It's the same thing. It's like the Kraken/Kraken thing. Like, yeah, they're both correct, but I'm not going to call a monster.
Well, like, do you remember a moment that you realized that you are magic, like a turning point where you realized that you had that ability?
Yeah, well, it's oddly enough, it started with Anton LaVey's The Satanic Bible, which I probably shouldn't be admitting this in public because it probably won't do my career any favors, but whatever. And I read that because I was at a really bad point in my life. I had lost my identical twin brother to cancer, and I had some bad luck and pretty much lost everything all at once. And some of it was my fault and some of it was circumstances. And I was watching video interviews with people from different satanic, quote unquote, organizations, quote unquote. And they all seemed pretty successful and happy and stuff. And I was like, well, I want to be like that. So I read LaVey's The Satanic Bible. And I was like, yeah, this is hilarious. Pretty dope. And, I
found it hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of them are just kind of neckbeards, but they like front really good at being successful. And the book is hilarious in a lot of ways because it's intentionally got a sense of humor. Mm-hmm. But I really liked the ritual magic in it, and I was really inspired by it. And I tried it out to varying degrees of results. Part of the problem was I kept doing stuff that kept backfiring. And all my associates were like, well, that's because you're doing...
That was Satan biting your butthole.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like, oh, it's because you're doing black magic and you're, saying these names and talking to these spirits, which is total bullshit. You can talk to any spirits you feel drawn to. It's, there's no really taboo that way. What I was doing, though, was I was like overextending my credit with the universe, basically. And and pushing too hard and not doing any divination or any acts of service to kind of balance things out. So my workings kept backfiring a little bit, but I figured it out from using the cards, from using the Thoth deck, because the Thoth deck, busted my chops until I figured out how to not be a completely selfish asshole while doing magic. But that's how it be sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's really... So, I think we all want to know what it's like to work in the most famous psychic fair in the U.S. And are you still at the shop?
Well, I'm taking a little bit of a mental health break from the shop that I've been working at because, I work in a machine shop full time and I do my personal readings, and then I'm trying to get my YouTube bumped up because my favorite band, at least my favorite band right now, the Sons of Perdition, wrote a really cool intro song for my YouTube, and I haven't had a chance to even use it in a video yet. And I'm painting my own tarot deck, and the shop, they realized not only was I a good psychic reader, but I was also pretty handy. So it just became this thing where between the two jobs, I was just working way too much, so I needed to take a little bit of a break. Mm-hmm. But probably in October, I'm probably gonna swoop in and make some money, and also let the other readers have a moment to decompress and such, because it gets crazy. We're talking 30. Well, I'll do 30 readings in a day.
30 readings in a day.
Yeah, 30 readings in a day. Mm-hmm. I thought I was slick because when I was learning, I was going on Facebook and trading and stuff. And I did 60 readings in 1 week, and I thought I was being slick. And then in October of last year, when I was doing the psychic fair, I did 30 readings in a day once. And I was like, hell, I mean, my wallet was like, hell yeah. My head was like, please close your third eye. Everything hurts.
Yeah, no shit.
So profound.
What do you charge, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, at the shop, they charge, I don't know what they charge.
Oh, okay.
I try not to pay attention when I'm working at a place. When I'm working at a shop.
I probably should not have asked that.
Well, I try. I think they charge 35. I get 15.
Okay.
When I do a convention, I have to pay the booth fee, and the other overhead costs, and then I usually charge 25 for a reading, and I just keep all of it.
That's
And then I think my price points on Path of the Magus are 25, 50, and 70. But you know, if you're going to contact me through Facebook or some other kind of private means, and you know you're having financial problems, I'll work with you. I'll do a sliding scale reading because I think that magic's everyone's birthright, and I think everyone has the right to have access to divination. And if you're approaching me in a respectful way and you're saying yes, I'm going to pay you something, then I can work with you. I don't like people who like message me or like give me a free reading, bitch. I'm like,
right.
no. Go fuck yourself. How about that? You know, even my friends, they know, like, if they want a reading or something, like, they gotta, like, be like, I'm bringing ice cream.
Yeah.
They can't
Well,
just get a free reading.
that was so nice for when I got my reading. I just posted in the Tarot Mood group. If anybody's interested, we have a really cool group for tarot that's it's really weird. So you better bring your weirdo suits. But it's called Tarot Mood. And I just posted that I would like a reading. And I was wondering if anybody wanted to, trade me one. And Joseph, like right away, I didn't even ask for a trade. I meant trade, but I didn't even ask for a trade. And Joseph was like, I'll give you a reading. I'm happy to. And I was like, you are so sweet. So yeah, you're very generous.
Well, that was pure, like, unrepentant cronyism because, I realized, like, how much influence you had, so I wanted to pander to you.
Great. I love it. I love it when people refer to me as like the queen of the group or the cult leader of the group or the mistress of the group. I'm like, fucking yes, give it all to
Yeah,
me.
well, I mean, Facebook is just training grounds, though.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the whole thing with, like, the psychic fair. Like, unfortunately, it's like it's like Hollywood to an extent, Salem is, because you get all these people who, like, like me, just really love magic. They just really love magic. They love making money, of course, but they love magic more, and they love entertaining people. And they come up here, and the cost of living so high, and they constantly have to be hustling, and people think we're getting rich off of it, and we're freaking not. A couple of people in this town who kind of run things are doing okay, but the rest of us, like, are living on, we're living on our hopes and dreams, and it has a lot of, like, there's a lot of kids, that just are just trying to hustle to get by and having to, like, live like five to an apartment and stuff.
Wow, but, yeah, is it expensive to live there too?
Oh, it's so expensive to live. I still have sticker shock from how expensive it is up here.
Yeah.
But I mean, I worked 90 hours a couple weeks ago. You don't do that unless you need it,
Right. Wow. And so, like, everybody that comes to Salem gets a reading, I'm sure.
I mean, I would say most people, it depends too on the month. Like in July, maybe not. In February, definitely not. In October, pretty much everyone who comes here in October gets a reading. And what's funny too is, like, a lot of the readers, a lot of, the locals, because we got a lot of artists and a lot of musicians and stuff, they'll, like, be out and about, like, living their normal lives. And when the tourists see them, not behind the safety of the psychic booth, or not behind the safety of, some, glass panel somewhere, the tourists act like all scared, like they're going to get robbed or something. And it's like, yo, what did you expect? You're coming to Salem. You're going to see some witches,
Yeah.
It's really frustrating. I'm a little disillusioned to the whole process. I love the cards beyond all human belief. And, obviously, like, it got me some clout. It's getting me on a radio show. So being able to be like, yeah, I did a psychic fair. I did 30 readings in a day. Like, I lined them up. I knocked them down. They called me the machine at the shop I was working at last year because they were like, that dude, he just sits there and he just does reading after reading after reading after reading.
I could
And
not.
yeah,
Yeah, like you said, your third eye would just be like, ah.
oh yeah, well one of my professional associates, her name is Candace. She's a reader in Salem as well, Massachusetts in general. I mean, we're all generally Massachusetts readers, but she's in Salem as well, and she's amazing. And she calls it the psychic sillies. And she like, you know how
Yeah.
like when people have a long day start cutting up and stuff. We do that like really bad, and we'll start like predicting like stupid stuff at each other. And she calls it the psychic sillies. It's super funny, but it's also true because it's exhausting. It's
Oh, yeah.
exhausting, but it's worth it for every like we get assholes, like we get Chads and Karens, we get them. We get I had like a drunken crab fisherman one time basically like try and like brawl me at my psychic booth. Like we get the Chads and Karens, but overwhelmingly we get people who have a legitimate interest in the occult, a legitimate interest in the spirituality represented by the cards.
That is
and
awesome. Listen
and
up, weirdos. Are being entertained by Salem Psychic Fair reader Joseph Rodgers, and when we return, we will find out about the weirdest crap people ask during readings, angels and demons in association to tarot, and cats. Yay! I can't wait to hear about your cat.
by the way,
You're listening to the Truth Frequency Radio Network.
No hate, no hype, no fear.
Live from Satan's Jack Shack, we're back with Tarot Mood. If you're wondering where Jimmy Jean is, I've locked him in a closet with a hooker and 2 ham and cheese sandwiches. So he'll be in a great mood when he comes on at 11. You're welcome. Until then, you're stuck with me and old Joe the Tarot Ho, so enjoy the show. What's up, Mr. Rodgers? You got your interview sweater on?
I do. I have a sweater on. Yeah.
Do you? Won't you be my demon?
Pretty much. Well, it is. It is a sweater that does have the 72 Goetia seals on back, and it has the triangle used to call them up, and then underneath in the Pokemon font it says "Gotta call them all."
I love it.
I wear that. It's like my blankie. I'm like Linus with that shit.
Nice. I bet it smells great after 90 hours of machine shop working and such.
Yeah. Well, I wear a different sweater in the machine shop, but like I like put it up in my locker, or like my best friend made a shirt that has the seal of Baal, who is my patron, on it. And like I'll go to like job sites and stuff with that shirt, and I'll change into a work shirt, but I'll put the shirt up like a flag and have the seal facing out so that he can see what I'm doing.
That's awesome. So, outside of Facebook, how can people reach you for a reading?
Okay, well, I have an Etsy too called Pale Hecat's Offering. or Hecates, which is the proper pronunciation, but it's a line from Shakespeare in which to meet the iambic pentameter, it's Hecate. So Pale Hecate's offering. There's a Facebook page for that as well, where I make custom altarpieces. They could also email me. You can email me at my personal email, which is josephrogers22@gmail.com, JOSEPHRODGERS22@gmail.com. And my YouTube, which is the Tattooed Tarot Reader. You can send a message to that, and I'll get it, and I'll find a way to connect with you. I like to do like Skype readings. I like to use, as much as I hate talking about Facebook, because it's like got like a huge like Big Brother vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do like Facebook Messenger. I'll do video chat or voice chat, and same for Skype. I'm not going to say it on the radio show, but if you do go on to my Facebook page, Path of the Magus, my phone number is on there, and you can text it. And I could do phone readings. Or if you pass me on the street, and you look like you're having a bad day, I might give you a reading.
Aww. Well, so in my really great reading from you, you were associating all these angels and demons with my cards. Like, what the fuck was that? How do you do that?
So, in Kabbalistic magic, well, first of all, let me preface this a little by saying that to remove your Christian ideals of what demons and devils are, because it's not applicable to occult magic. They're not innately sinister spirits that are trying to torture you for all eternity. The original Greek word that we got the word demon from actually meant spirit of inspiration, or like a muse. And that's more appropriate towards what they are. And in Israel Regardie's book, The Tree of Life, there's a quote that goes something to the extent of every form of spirit, from the most dog-faced demon to the most beatific angel, is an emanation of God. So, just get that out of the way. That is not anything like the Anton LaVey system, the satanic system, in which they're all symbols. And I mean, I believe that symbols are myths. Spirits are created by human consciousness, and kind of like the Jungian universal subconscious, where it's like this internet of ideas, and certain ideas like Batman exist forever, and people put this life into them where they become basically mythological gods, and that's what the demons are, and the angels. And so what there is there's this system of Kabbalistic magic that Crowley continued with the Lema and the OTO, and it's what created the modern tarot systems. The two main tarot systems existing now are the Waite system and the Crowley system, the Thoth system. And these two main systems are both from the Golden Dawn ideology. Any tarot that predates the Golden Dawn is going to be either a Marseille or a Visconti tarot. For the most part, you have some iterations of the Marseille and Visconti, like the Italia and things like that, where like Rosicrucian groups and stuff like that started kind of doing the primitive piecing together. But in this system, there's the astrological decans from archaic astrology. I'm not like astrology buff or anything, but they can be mapped onto the 36 pips minus the aces. So, from 2 to 10, they can be mapped, and the Wheel of the Year can be mapped on these. And each one of these pips has 4 spirits primarily associated with it in the Kabbalistic system. A day angel, and a night angel, and a day demon, and a night demon. And that's the 72 Goetia and the 72 angels, the Shapem Prahash. So that's where I was saying, like, oh, well, if your astrological decan is, you were like, what, a first degree Aries, then I was saying, like, well, these spirits right here are the ones associated with first degree Aries. So when you're looking for spirits to help you with tasks, or that will interact with you agreeably according to your chart, your chart, you look at your chart and you look at where the tarot cards are placed in that. And then you find the spirits associated with those placements, and you can know that you're going to interact well with the spirit that you're calling up because of you have similar placements in the chart, similar agreeabilities.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that any of that made sense, but
It
if it
totally
didn't,
did.
call me to book me for a reading.
Yeah,
I'll tell you when you're gonna find your next girlfriend or boyfriend.
Can you do that?
No, I mean not really, but people ask me to, so I do it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the cards are like, no, this person has their work life figured out. They've got their meditations, they've got their prayers, they're doing good. Like, but they're really lonely, and there's going to be two more dudes, and they're both going to help them learn finances and emotions, and then the third one is going to be a little bit younger but brilliant for them. And I mean, some readings are like that, but it's not always.
Yeah,
That's not
right.
always. My cards kind of tell me what they want to tell me about you.
Of course, even
sometimes-
if somebody asks a specific question, sometimes I'm like people ask for a love reading and I look at it and I'm like, I'm sorry, but here's what you got from the card. You got a career reading.
Well, and I think that goes back to like the Hermetic principle to an extent, like the whole like as above so below thing. What's happening in a person's career life probably mirrors what's happening in their love life, and probably mirrors what's happening in their education life, and mirrors what's happening in their spiritual life. Mm-hmm. It's just about being able to pull all that information from the cards, and that's why there's so many different psychics, and why like there's no one answer.
Yeah.
This isn't about finding the one answer. People think because they're so preoccupied in this like really weird, like morbid obsession with the Christian ideology. Mm-hmm. They're so preoccupied with finding like the one answer, the one truth, and there's right. Not.
No. Yeah. One thing that I was really interested in is like if you have any insider industry secrets that you use when you're doing your readings.
Yeah. So this, I mean, let me say this, approaching it in a way, unfortunately, like you might find this interesting anyway, but if you're not looking to be like the kind of person who does 30 readings a day, you can go ahead and discard this information at your leisure. But everyone needs to be like drawn in right away with a reading. And so that's where the psychic entertainer part comes into it. Mm-hmm. We're not doctors. We're not neo shaman or anything. I mean, some of us might be, but I'm not. Mm-hmm. So when someone sits in the chair, you have to make a connection with them right away, especially if you want to tip. Compliment them, shake their hand, notice what their handshake is like, if it's warm, if they're open, or if it's cold and clammy. Then show them a little bit of your actual magic, like make trails in the astral, cast glamours, and that will hook them into the experience, because you're not going to be able to do 30 readings in the day and like Nostradamus the shit out of every single one of those 30 readings.
Right.
We're not prophets. We're psychic entertainers. So, make it even if you're not having the most accurate experience, they're having an enjoyable one. Mm-hmm. And then there's other shit like, people like talk, you hear like all these like atheists and skeptics being like, cold reading. Well, yeah, cold reading occurs. We all cold read each other perpetually. It's called social mm-hmm. awareness. Mm-hmm. So that's part of, to me, in my spiritual belief, like if someone's crossing their arms, they're blocking their energy from their heart to you. So you got to tell them like, no crossing the arms. But when you put down your cards, you see how they handle them, see how manicured their hands are. That's part of what palm reading is too, is just seeing how someone treats their hands. You can learn so much about their life just from that. Right. So yeah. But it's not always just looking at the cards and telling the story that's in the cards. But if I need to do that, I can. And I get people that sit down and do cross their arms. And if I ask them to uncross their arms, they won't. And they'll sit there and I'll pull cards and I'll read for them. And they'll sit there and just like complete silence. And then afterwards, they'll either be like, that was a great reading, it was so on point, and tip me, or they'll be like, Okay, well, see you later, dude. And whatever. I don't care. I did what I did. I gave them my truth, and I told them a story, and that's what they're paying me to do.
Mm-hmm. How often has it happened? I mean, you do so many readings. I'm sure it's happened, a few times that people have wanted a refund.
No, not that often. Maybe I've done like 2,000 readings in the last 2 years because I started 2 years ago, and I've done like 2,000 readings, and maybe 2 or 3 people have wanted refunds. A couple of, usually when someone wants a refund, it's because it's not because you didn't do a good reading, it's because they didn't like what you told them.
Right. Just getting all their buttholes getting all raw. Satan.
I had to reel it in a little bit because people were getting their buttholes chapped. And I had to unfortunately, when doing the psychic fair, or doing a convention or something like that, and dealing with like normies or muggles or whatever you want to call them, or the crowd or whatever, unfortunately, like everyone's a special human, blah blah blah, and everyone's important, blah blah blah, and connected to God and part of God and all that shit. But I had to reel it in a little bit because a lot of people don't want the truth. They have their head in the sand about so many things, and they want to sit down and be told that they're beautiful and they're special and they're interesting, and that's how you make the money sometimes. And you can look into their eyes and tell what they want, like right away. When you're in the zone, when you're in spirit, as we call it, when you're in spirit, you can look in someone's eyes and tell whether they want the truth or whether they want rainbows blowing up their ass.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. So what is the weirdest question you've ever been asked to use the cards to answer?
I don't even really know.
Yeah.
I've had some pretty bizarre questions. And this wasn't me. It was one of the readers I was sitting next to, but she got a guy who booked an hour with her, and he sat down and just talked at her about his experiences doing ayahuasca, which was, and I was totally eavesdropping. This was really interesting. But then it took like this really like morbid veer into him talking about his pornography addiction and like just like basically like confessing like all the horrible shit he watched. Really sucked the energy out of the room. So I mean, I don't know about the most interesting question that I've been asked. People don't usually ask me questions. That's not really the kind of reading that I do. That's part of the whole thing about being a professional. They should have their questions answered without being asked.
Okay.
If usually with a professional reading, the psychic might ask you some questions. The psychic might be like looking at the cards, and maybe the King of Cups is beneath you. Like I had a situation where the King of Cups was beneath a woman, and I was reading with the Spiral Tarot, and the King of Cups in the Spiral Tarot, he's got like this like long like gray hair that's like floating out in this weird spiral pattern. He looks like the crazy Elf King in Lord of the Rings movies.
Uh-huh.
And I'm looking at it, and it was underneath the significator, and I said, who is this older man that weighs so heavily on your heart? And her husband had Alzheimer's and had been placed in a home, and that's probably why it reminded me too of the king from Lord of the Rings stories.
Mm-hmm.
And it also reminded me too. I had just finished reading a story about a man who had made dolls, and he had Alzheimer's. And when people wanted to like have a conversation with him, they'd break one of his dolls so that part of him would go back into him, so he could have a conversation. And it kind of like that ended up like informing the whole reading. So
Yeah.
that like all those synchronicities like all clicking together. So I guess that's probably what question asking occurs. Sometimes people will say, I want a career reading, or I want a love life reading.
Right.
and
Yeah.
I'll say I'll do my best.
Well, yeah, like I always ask people, do you have a question or do you want a general reading? Because I want to know if there's something specific they're looking for in the cards, you know. And then sometimes
Yeah.
like I said, I noticed that the cards are, shifting towards something else. But I mean, I didn't know that was like unprofessional to ask. Well, I do my readings a little differently also. So I don't do them well, I'm thinking about doing them live now, but I don't do them live. I take a picture and I do a voice recording over the image and explain to them what the reading is and send that.
Yeah, well, this is and you do lovely readings. You gave me an amazing reading, and
Thank you.
it was funny because you were talking about something with the Ace of Wands and making money with it, and I ended up using a paintbrush a lot a week later, so that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So
thought you were going to say something about your dick.
Yeah. Well, I mean that shows up a lot in my readings too, but I try and keep it on the low, because my mom's probably listening. But
hi, Mom.
It's you do wonderful reading, and that's the thing. Like, there's all sorts of readings, and the ceremonial magic applications, and the and the readings you give yourself, and the readings you give your friends and family, all that. This is a very specific. That's why I'm so specific in calling it psychic entertainment, because it's a very specific, kind of like carnival atmosphere to an extent.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, it all comes back to that.
Yeah, the cards are a spiritual teacher, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no unprofessional way to interact with the cards. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm not trying to say like no one.
Oh, I know. I thought maybe there was a standard I didn't know about, but you're speaking specifically of the psychic entertainer and what you do.
Yeah, like high volume, sit them down. Knock them out, like showbiz style reading. That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah, you definitely give a show. I was like, whoa, yeah, all right. So we have like 6 minutes till the break. So I want to talk about your cats, and I want to give the phone number out because I want to see the call board filling up. So it's 833 TFR live. Or 213-233-3998. And I'm going to give it one more time. 833-TFR, like Truth Frequency Radio Live, and 213-233-3998. So I just wanted to try to get the call board filling up so that I don't have a nervous breakdown. We do have one caller waiting for us. Yay. But anyway, I have to know about your cats because you're just such a cat person.
Well, I only have one cat.
Okay, but okay.
I grew up with cats. My mom is a cat person, and my mom, like I've talked about her a couple of times already during the show. She's amazing. But she would rescue cats, and she also would feed strays, and she had like little like areas like this part of town she fed this group of cats, and this part of town she had like this like whole like genealogy going and family trees and all that. And then at one point we had 10 cats of our own at home. So, but right now I have one cat and one dog. My cat is named Watermelon, and my dog is named Jeannie. And Jeannie is 12 years old, and she's kind of slowing down. She's special.
Aww.
And Watermelon is just like, he's like a miniature Caligula. He's amazing. He's like Vlad Shepes and like cat form. I respect him. He's a more powerful warlock than I am.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm kind of worshipy of my cat as well. Why do you name him Watermelon?
Because he's got stripes on his back and seeds on his belly.
Oh.
He's a tabby. He forced me into adopting him. I didn't want to adopt him. I didn't want a cat. I was at a house party in like a duplex, and I kept going. I smoked cigarettes at the time, so I kept going out to smoke cigarettes, and the cats kept coming up to me, and I kept petting them, and I was like really digging on this one. And the lady comes out, and she's like, "Oh, well, take one of them. The landlord doesn't want him around." and I'm gonna have to put them in a shelter, and they're just the local strays, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm in a bad spot right now. I can't. At the end of the night, I unlock my car, and I open up the door to get in, and he raced past me and jumped through my legs into the car. So I went and knocked on the door. I'm like, I'm taking one of them, I guess.
Oh, he claimed you, and that's what familiars are supposed to do, right?
He's definitely my familiar. Yeah, oh, he's definitely my familiar. And before him, I had a familiar without realizing it. Her name was Lilith, and she was a Rottweiler Doberman mix.
Oh,
and
wow.
She was really cool. Jeannie's not my familiar. Jeannie's just special. I love you, Jeannie, but you're special.
Well, we have about 3 minutes until the break. Tell me what you're interested in right now. What are you reading?
Like
you're busy as hell, I
different
know.
things. I guess mainly my main interest has been my like prolonged love affair with the 72 Goetia. And I mean, well, I've been working with Odin a little bit lately. And Robert Anton Wilson and his 8 Circuits of Consciousness. That's been really interesting. I listened to his interview. Anton Wilson explains everything, or old Uncle Bob exposes his ignorance. And that interview was amazing. And he, but mainly the 72 Goetia, I've been working with the Spirit Gramarye a lot. And I started having like a lot of nostalgia for a series of video games my twin brother and I used to play called Castlevania, specifically like the Symphony of the Night era, Metroidvania style ones. And I started having dreams about it, feeling really nostalgic. My mental health was like wrecked. And I saw a Kickstarter for a game and I pre-ordered it. And it was like a Metroidvania style, Castlevania game style thing. And the very first named bad guy in it was Gramarye. And I'm like, that's the kind of synchronicity, like, yeah, it could just be a coincidence, but I don't believe in coincidences. So it felt really good that, she had my back when I needed her, when I needed them, the 72. And that probably makes me sound like a schizophrenic, but I guess I really don't care because, they're cooler than Jesus because they wear a lot of black and have like really big crowns and like carry torches around and stuff, so. That
does sound badass.
Yeah, they're pretty badass. But you got to be careful. You have to have you can't be like pumping them full of like evil, malicious intention and stuff because they'll be like, oh, this is the game you want to play? All right, let's take it up to 11.
Oh,
you have to be like art and music and poetry and technical skills and like getting in shape and good habits. And they're like, yes, let's do that.
Little balance. Otherwise, they're just heathens.
Yeah, because if you like are calling them up and are like, let's ruin my life as fast as possible, they'll be like, that's a weird flex, bro, but okay, let's do it. So, word of caution.
Yes, good to know. Well, folks, we've been chatting with Salem Psychic Fair reader Joseph Rodgers, and when we come back, we will entertain you further with bad tarot readings. So please call 833-TFR-LIVE and get on the call board because I'm hoping we'll have lots of callers tonight for your reading. Yay!
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
We are back with Joseph Rodgers, professional tarot reader and psychic entertainer, and we're going to do some bad tarot readings. So if you want a 3-card reading from Joseph and some sass from me, give us a call at 213-233-3998. Joseph, thank you again so much for being here with us tonight. You have been a great guest.
Thank you. It's been my absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
I mean, someone, is someone having this kind of conversation with me and not like desperately trying to like excuse themselves from it is just, it's just like,
oh, I know the feeling. You're like, you're interested in this? Okay, great.
Most people are like, oh, that must be my coffee that they just put on the counter over there. I better leave and go grab it. And then like back slowly out of the coffee house while like not making eye contact with you.
Yeah. I forgot something in my car.
Gotta go.
Let me slip into something more comfortable. Gets in vehicle.
Yeah, right. This should be a meme. Let me slip into something more comfortable.
I got that from a meme.
Oh, 2 asterisks next to it, right? Well, I got cards with me if anyone wants some.
And everybody that wants Joseph's information that didn't quite get it down, it's also on my website, tarotmood.com. In the show tab, we've got all his information there too. And we do have some callers. We have one caller that has been waiting for an hour. Okay, I'm so excited. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. Are you with us?
Hello?
Hello. I hear them. Do you think they went to sleep?
I hear like rustling. Maybe the cat like snuffed them out and and is like trying to drag their body across the floor over to the food. Like the cat like found some piano wire while they're on the phone waiting to talk to us, strangled them with the piano wire. I can picture Watermelon doing that to me. If the line ever goes really quiet with me, just assume that Watermelon strangled me with piano wire.
Okay, that specific way, I definitely, it's a cat thing to do.
Well, he'd do it like the old like Italian Jaleo films where like the camera would pan to first person view and you just see the black leather gloves on his hands.
Yeah, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, that like little monster glove just pulls up and.
Man, we've gotten into like whole like meta levels of abstraction at this point. But that's what happens when you're tarot readers talking to each other.
We're like, please just answer the call, caller.
Somebody should call us, or like
there are more callers. We'll just try to come back to them maybe later. They've been on for 58 minutes. It might be a mistake somehow, but and I wanted to tell everybody how this works. So like Joseph's gonna pull a 3-card reading for you, and he's gonna tell me what the cards are. He's gonna tell us all, because that way I can tell you the bad version when he's done. So let's see. Let's try our next caller. Yes, caller, please state your name and your favorite conspiracy theory.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Are you in Saskatchewan?
I'm good. Yeah, my name's Alan, and I'm just curious what the cards say.
Oh, great. Well.
Hi, Alan. So the cards say, you're just curious what the cards say? All right.
Yeah. Did you ask me what my favorite conspiracy theory is?
Yeah, I was just curious. I don't know. I feel like it might be Bigfoot.
Oh, my favorite is actually Flat Earth, but I don't want to talk about that right now.
Oh, I have a brilliant friend that was saying.
Do you have a brother, Alan?
They were saying.
Yeah, I do have a brother.
I'm sorry.
Okay. The cards are saying that that your relationship with your brother is really special. It's sacred beyond belief. And that your mother.
I have 3 brothers. Which one?
The one. So
your favorite.
one of these individuals in this relationship is focused on like their material needs, while another one is focused on fulfilling their emotional needs. So probably
That makes sense.
if you're focused on your material needs right now, whoever is focused on fulfilling their heart, or if you're focused on your heart, whoever is focused on their material needs. And there's something about your relationship with your mother that is preoccupying the one who's more focused with their material needs, because she's showing up from above, like she's still dictating this individual's, I want to say, financial decisions. But the love and support
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, the love and support of the siblings is what's going to really work through this situation. So if you want to book a reading with me and look more into it, we're welcome to. And your cards were the Two of Cups, the Prince of Dis, the Prince of Cups, and the Empress looking from above.
Aha.
What you said makes a lot of sense.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy about that, Alan.
So it's probably like a Step Brothers situation. Have you seen that movie?
Yes.
No.
You should probably watch it.
Boats and hoes.
Yeah. And I was going to tell you about my friend about the flat earth theory. She was saying that because somebody was saying if the earth is flat, then how do dinosaurs live in there? And she said, it's not a donut.
Oh my God. I'm a big fan of the conspiracy theory that that dinosaurs were never real, that the Christian devil planted the bones into the earth to confuse archaeologists.
Oh, snap. That is just...
What do you think of that one, Alan? Do you like that conspiracy theory?
Hey, it's possibly true. Who knows?
So that would be my bad tarot reading for you, would just be boats and hoes, man.
Boats and hoes.
Well, thank you guys.
We really appreciate you calling.
Yeah, thank you for calling and thank you for listening.
Okay, talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Call on the next episode, too.
Okay, we have a fellow weirdo. What the fuck is your question for the great Joseph Rodgers?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hey, it's Sharon. What's up? The Tarot Squirrel.
No, it's Jess Hansfeld.
Oh, shit. Where's Sharon?
Yeah, where's Sharon? But we're happy to talk to Jess, too.
Hey, Jess, what's up? I'm sorry for misnaming you. I'm ready now.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, totally. You sound great.
Awesome. So do you. Oh, my gosh.
Have you been listening to this shit show? Have we traumatized you yet?
Yeah. Well, I got the payment from you to listen, so
right.
I'm just doing you a favor, I guess.
I've been paying people in titty shots.
What? Well, you didn't pay me in titty shots to do this show.
I know you were too overzealous.
I'm doing out of the kindness of my heart. Next time I need to put my foot down during negotiations. What's up? So, Jess, I'm sorry for thinking you were someone else, but let's see if I'm a better card reader than I am a person assumer. So, is there anything that you would like to know from the cards?
No, let's just do a fun general reading. Sure.
Okay. Well, I'm switching decks to my trimmed thought deck. I have like 8 different tarot decks with me. The first reading I did with the Tarot of the Spirit. And you probably heard me stumbling over calling the princes because in the Tarot of Spirit they're called brothers, not princes. And speaking of court cards, we've got the Knight of Cups showing up. Okay, so it seems like there's some issues with maybe like depression or like mental health stuff kind of affecting family coherency right now. But it seems like there's a lot of love anyway. It looks like that you might have been doing some pretty big magic in the past, maybe something that even involved having an altar set up. And it looks like that there's a man who's kind of like obsessed, or maybe not a man, but a male presenting energy as the Emperor showing up kind of like established and firm. And then you're showing up as the Knight of Cups with your heart in your hand, moving forward. So it seems like you may be living a little bit too much with your heart, and that might be part of the reason that you're experiencing, depression or mental unease in the way that you are. But it seems like doing magic's really good for you and that you have a good support network.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you're pretty much on point there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good, because I was going to say that you were drinking and got in trouble with your dad.
that sounds like it too. Oh my God. And yes, the Matrix, the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Cups, and the Emperor. Oh my God. That sounds like that could have been me when I was 17. That could have been my reading. You were drinking, you got in trouble with your dad. Yo.
I just
the cups kind of look like
not reading the
people's,
Bible
too.
enough.
Yeah, not reading the Bible enough. Right? Like the cups, like in the Thoth deck, if you took the cups too, you made them like little slides for your bong, like little weed bowls. So,
That's so brilliant. The things that you can make, pipes out of these days. I mean, there's no excuse not to smoke weed. Just you. Well, I guess I shouldn't ask. That's probably taking it too far. It's like you don't ask about like religion, politics, and if they smoke marijuana on air, right?
Well, it's okay.
True.
It's okay depending on what state you're in. Like if you're in Massachusetts, you smoke weed, but if you're in, Tennessee, you don't.
Is Minnesota legal?
Minnesota's not legal yet.
No, you just have to go to the shopping mall and wish you were smoking weed instead.
You
That
can
really
smoke
big ass
pipe.
shopping mall with all its chintzy crap, and you got to go in there and wish you were smoking weed instead.
And you can put your weed in here.
Other than that, people's hobbies in Minnesota are being cold and being sad. So.
Oh, I know. I lived in Montana
I'm
most
so
of my
glad
life. That
the
is
summer's coming
absolutely
up.
true.
What?
I lived in
so
Montana
cold.
most of my life. Yeah, I'm with you, Jess. I know how that is. It's freaking miserable. But you like snow, don't you?
I love snow.
Oh, good.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's okay. I like weirdos.
Yeah. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
so much.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you made my night.
Great. You made our night. We needed the callers. You saved our ass.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yep. Bye.
All right. We have our next caller, Brian. What's up? Do you have any cats? Hello?
Brian. Do you have cats?
Oh, I want Brian to answer because let me try again.
I'm like tripping out on the artwork on my Thoth deck right now.
Brian, are you there? Let's see. Let's try.
I just realized on the Thoth deck that the armrests of the Emperor are the same as the coin in the Magus card.
Oh my gosh, who are we talking to?
Joseph.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Brian.
Hi.
Yay!
Is this Brian we got?
Hey.
Wait, we have a
Where
bunch
am I
of
at?
people. Yeah, is this Brian?
Yes.
Yay, I'm so excited. I've been
What's
talking
up?
to Brian on my timeline, like just flat out, like he doesn't even message me, he just posts on my timeline. And I like it that way. I feel like I look more important to people.
You are. Like the first show I heard you on, Natalie.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I loved it.
Oh, thank you. I was nervous as heck, obviously. You're like, you got a potty mouth, and I loved it.
Brian, you got any cats?
I had cats.
How many?
How many?
I had 4.
Oh my God. Are you
What's your
saying you
favorite cat
had them, like past tense?
Well, the ex took them.
Oh, well, we're calling her up. Let me get her up on Skype.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
You should do
No,
some
like
Home Alone shit to get your cats back.
Yeah, you should at least get to
Little B&E, my friend. It's like that episode
I
of
didn't-
episode of American Dad. Where they go steal the dog back from the dude's ex.
I didn't want to break them up.
What? Man,
because
you gotta be selfish.
They
Brian.
were fam. Huh?
You gotta be more selfish, my friend.
They were all related.
No.
That's
Well,
fair. That's fair. You're in Anaheim. You're smoking weed, right?
I'm smoking yeah. Allegedly.
You sound like you're faked, my friend. Here. Oh, hold on.
I convinced him to stay up late. And you know who else?
Yeah.
So that other caller that has been waiting on the line for 71 minutes, I think we finally got her too, but we'll get to her right after we get to Brian. Brian, what is your question for Joseph and the tarot?
What is next?
Yeah, what is next for Brian? Are you smoking weed, Joseph?
Yeah. Don't worry about me.
I thought that's what oh my God. Well, speaking of your ex, Queen of Swords in the past, Ten of Swords now with the fucking pierced heart. You're ruined, my friend. Queen of Cups. All right. Well, next is someone who's going to really fill you up. This person's going to be doing magic too and have an interest in magic. Very receptive, very intuitive individual. So I pulled 4 cards for you, and just from left to right, we had Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords, Queen of Cups, the High Priestess. So, so what's next is, I think when you're least expecting it, like you're gonna feel like really satisfied and happy.
You got a bunch of bitch cards though, including the dominatrix card and the blowjob card.
Yeah. Well, I don't see the blowjob card in here.
Oh, didn't you say the High Priestess?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh,
no,
yeah,
that's straight up the blowjob card. Yeah,
B&K
because she doesn't talk. She just sucks dick.
Yeah, well, that's I'm gonna say it wrong. Boaz and Joaquin.
Well, obviously.
Of severity and mercy.
Oh my God, really?
Path, the right hand path on the Kabbalah, on the Tree of Life.
They also call her the HPIC, the High Priestess in Charge. I like that one too.
Yeah, well, the High Priestess is a good person to have in charge. A young, at least in the very least, spirit. Sometimes it can literally mean someone who's from heaven or heaven sent. So.
Oh.
Or in heaven. I see the Emperor showing up too. So you're going to become more materially established and have a better setup of your own. Things are going to feel like they're clicking into place. You might feel like you've become your own father a little bit.
Oh.
So.
That's good because I feel like we need to become our own parents. Like, all joking aside, we need to become our own parents. We need to become whole, and we don't need to depend, I feel for me personally, and I recognize it with a lot of people, we feel like victimized by our parents, and it affects our whole lives. Like, well, I was traumatized by this and that, but it's like, we need to parent ourselves, reparent ourselves. And so that's a really good card. So you have that and a bunch of bitchy women in your future. That's what I'm using as my bad tarot.
That's twice the Emperor showed up tonight too. And what?
You're going to need that. Oh yeah, true.
Okay. So like hashtag my mom.
Yeah. Well,
if she's not listening.
Bitchy women.
She's the Queen of Swords, isn't she? Is that what we got in there? And the Queen of Cups too, right? So is she emotional?
Oh, fuck. Holy hell. If I could tell you real stories. We don't have enough time, but...
My mom kicked a high heel through a front glass window of a car.
That's pretty badass, though.
Yeah, that's true. But she's still a bitch, though. I hate her.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
I'm like, that was a cool move, Mom, but Well,
you're a bitch.
Yeah.
Right?
We're such disrespectful little brats.
Hey, that's one of the things that pisses me off about old people, boomers especially. Boomers fucking walk around going, respect is earned, not assumed. And it's like, okay, well then earn our respect. Because I never get disrespected by young people. I always get disrespected by fucking boomers.
Yep.
And they're the ones that pay like shit and act like it's their fucking God-given right to pay like shit.
Mm-hmm.
My boss is probably going to text me and be like, you're fired. I'm not talking about my boss. I love my boss. I'm not talking about my boss.
She's not listening, is she? She's not listening, is she?
No. Well, I don't think either of my bosses are listening, but they both could be.
I guess that's true.
Like anybody could be listening. The Pope could be listening for all we know. Probably.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Like leafing through the J.C. Penney catalog and looking at the boys in their underwear.
Fuck.
I love that too. Like, I love that thing with the Christians where they're like, oh well, doing magic is bad. It's like, but your priests like attack children, yet somehow lighting candles and waving sage around and sticking crystals up your ass is bad. You know.
Right.
Like, I mean, what kind of, that's their magic. Their magic is blaming their fucked up shit on everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. They got daddy and mommy problems like I was talking about. Like they got Jesus problems, like Jesus, his dad, and his dad's creepy ghost friend. I mean, they're getting blamed for everything.
So funny thing about the Holy Ghost is the Ace of Cups is the Holy Ghost.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit is actually, it used to be the divine feminine. And in tarot and occult and a lot of esoteric schools of thought, the Pillar of Mercy is ruled by the Holy Spirit, which is still the divine feminine, or as the Gardnerians and the Wiccans made accessible to the stupid people. Like, Jesus, I am just really not making any future career points for myself right now. But the God.
Hey, you know what? That's what the listeners want to hear. They want to hear honesty. They want to hear like what you really think. And I guess maybe. Don't worry. I don't think your boss is listening.
No, you don't understand. Like, people are talking shit about me all the time. Like, my name is on everyone's tongues all the time. So I got to be careful.
Oh, okay. Oh, we just lost the caller, dang
it's
it.
Funny in tarot spirit. Oh, we have one more call. Yeah, let's get a caller.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much for calling.
Brian.
Yeah. You know what? I wanted to interject, I guess, in a way.
Go ahead.
But no, you guys are laying it down.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, does that make sense?
Yeah,
totally.
Okay. I love you guys.
Love you too. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to try to pick up this person that's been waiting.
Yeah, I'm going to try and pick them up too and take them home.
Hello, are you there? Caller? Oh gosh, I was hoping.
Gee, you should call it.
Yeah, we do need more callers because
I'm
the break is.
My friend Akeem, I kept telling him to call. I'm like, Akeem, call. And he's like, I'm totally going to. I'm going to take a nap. Then I'm going to wake up and totally call. And
his cat killed him.
What's up? Yeah, his cat killed him with piano wire. Oh my God.
God damn that piano. Do not, I don't think that they should sell piano wire to cats at stores. I don't think that that's responsible sales there.
If I ever have a music store, I'm gonna have a sign that says "Do not sell cats piano wire."
Yeah, cats left unattended will be given piano wire.
Damn it, Janine should call in. Speaking of my voice teacher, she's also the opera singer on Salem Sheep Bus.
Wow.
Well, my friend Carolyn wants to call the lady that made me the Bile shirt. So what is it? It's TFR. What's the number again?
It's 833-TFR Live, or 213-233-3998. And yeah, we have 30 more minutes left of show. So we switched from 1 hour to 2 hours tonight, and I took a big risk that we would have enough callers. But I know that Joseph's friends are going to call in, and a friend of mine just messaged and said that he's going to call in, hopefully. And he's really interesting. So you two will probably have a really great conversation. 44 seconds. Okay. So it's been great talking to Joseph Rodgers. And when we get back, we're going to have more bad tarot readings.
What number again? Say it one more time, please.
Okay. 213-233-3998.
No hate, no hype, no fear. We are TFR, your protection from deception.
Welcome back to Tarot Mood. We are here with Joseph Rodgers, famous Salem psychic fair reader, occultist, and lover of cats. And we are doing bad tarot readings. So Joseph is doing 3-card draws for us, and he'll give his interp, and then I'll give mine. And mine's usually ridiculous and or disgusting. If you'd like a reading, the number is 213-233-3998. 833-TFR live. And we do have a call. Are you ready, Joseph? Joseph? Uh-oh. Let's see. I might have lost Joseph.
Sorry.
Oh, you jerk. What were you doing?
I was trying to send you a file. I was trying to send you the file for
Oh my God, just for that, I'm going to tell them what happened early. So I called him at 8:50 and he's like, "Oh, wouldn't you know it? I have to poop." And I was like, "Do you think you can have
a blast like that with You probably thought that's what was going on again. Man,
I did.
Jesus.
Motherfucker went to power poop. And he did. He got right back with like 3 minutes to spare. I was like, "Good job, Joseph." I wish that was all on air.
Who's our caller?
Okay, sorry. Joanna Sanchez. Let me get her pulled up. We have a caller. Yay! Are you there, Joanna?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Mom.
It's your mom. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
Are you enjoying the show?
This is exactly the second radio show I've ever called into in my entire life. Last time was in the 1970s.
Oh, what was it?
Soul Train?
It was a music, it was a music radio show in Miami, and I don't remember why I called, but for some reason they played ZZ Top Looking for Some Tush for me. I have no idea why.
Well, thank you. I feel honored, and I'm going to try not to give you too bad of a bad tarot reading on my end, but let's see what your lovely son. Are you proud of Joseph? He's so informative.
Oh, I love Joseph. I've always thought both my sons are very interesting, and I don't know if that sounds like, I don't know, that's weird, but I thought they were really interesting people. And
my mom is super supportive. So one time I had an art show and I was selling custom-made Black Magic altarpieces with the sigil of Baphomet and the 4 crown princes of hell around the edges of the circle. And I wasn't done getting them finished. And my mom like hopped in the kitchen and made a pot of coffee and started helping me like finish the paint job and lacquer them and all that stuff. It was pretty hilarious. She's super
That is so supportive. My mom like burned all my artwork.
What? That's horrible.
Oh no.
Real life story.
Well, Mom, I guess I'm gonna do the trimmed thought deck since we're both used to reading a trimmed thought deck.
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
It's always hard to read my mom because I got skin in the game too, you know.
Right.
So maybe, oh geez, 5 of Cups. That's our stalker card.
Uh-oh.
Prince of Cups in the past.
No.
Probably Knight of Wands. I think this is about like me and Matthew and like, you know, about 5 of Cups being disappointment over how things turned out a little bit, and I'm disappointed too. The Knight of Wands in the future. I think that's me like, you know, licking my wounds and hopping back into the game. And I think, you know, it's a Sagittarius card for you too. But, yeah, I'm really not. Queen of Discs is the overhead as the final, which is you. And as you know, you had that dream about her. And then we have externally, the 5 of Wands and 3 of Swords underneath you. So I'll take a
I've been
picture.
pulling that lately.
Yeah, it's not happy looking, but I guess that makes sense because my mom and I have like some like Victorian family curse or some shit.
Oh, really? Is that like legitimate, you think?
Like, yeah, like legitimate.
I don't know. It's pretty sad.
What's the story?
Yeah.
Oh, is it too sad?
It'll really like kind of. My twin brother died.
Right. You think that's from the curse?
I think there's something. Or we have more family members below ground than above it.
Wow.
Yeah, and they die like in tragic ways. Like my sister had some weird reflex sympathetic dystrophy, which just was terrible, and she died. And my brother got kicked in the chest by a horse. I mean, it's
oh
like
my God.
Weird.
Yeah, just
weird. Just.
I'm so sorry.
The double 5s make me nervous.
Yeah.
It makes me nervous that there's something down the pipeline. But I've been having like this foreboding sense of doom lately anyway.
So you know, I've been picking swords the last couple days.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, well, do you have your computer open, Mom? I can send you a picture.
I do.
Well, hey, why don't you lighten the mood?
So
Joanna, how often do you read for yourself?
I go through stages. Sometimes like every day, or like every Sunday, and I look ahead for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go where I think the cards are giving me gibberish.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So, and then sometimes I look at it. It's like, what?
It's crazy on point sometimes, and then other times it's like...
Something that they tell people to do when they can't feel like they read for themselves is to keep a tarot journal and write down what you got, because you might look back later and be like, holy shit, you know?
Right, because I tend to write down when I read for other people, but I never write. Well, once in a while I write down mine.
Oh,
but,
yeah, you got to write it down.
I write it down when it makes sense, but I should write it down when it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, because you're going to look back and be like, oh, my God, I totally get that card now.
And I haven't been reading the cards very long either, so.
That's really cool that Joseph hooked you up.
Yeah, he keeps sending me decks.
That's sweet.
That's like
decks. I got a mojo bag, and
that's really sweet.
But I think Janine's on the line.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
Okay, well I'm gonna go. It was nice talking to you.
Mom.
Thanks so much for calling, Joanna. Have a good night.
Okay.
Okay, so that was really cool that your mom called. I hope that she's not mad at me.
No, she's amazing. You're amazing. No one's mad.
Okay. Okay, so here we have another caller, and who might this be?
Hello, this is Janine.
Yay, hello, Janine.
Hi, Janine.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So Janine's my voice teacher, and she also busts on Essex Street, and she does opera singing on.
Can you
Essex
sing
Street.
something really quick for us?
Okay. There you go. I'm in my car in a parking lot, so.
Oh, that made my heart soar.
Yeah, it was really good, Janine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you want some? Oh, hey, and you work with the Goetia too. What goetic are you working with right now?
Vapula.
Vapula, yeah.
Vapula's
It was fun.
kind of, yeah, my.
Go ahead.
What was it?
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, yeah, Vapula's been really, really good to me. Very good to me. Just like giving me a lot of studying the science of psychology. So I'm learning a lot about the psychology of my own mind and how to work around like different issues and shortcomings that I have. Stuff that I may not have known, like, unless I looked at it from a different perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they help give you an outside perspective. So do you want me to pull some cards
yeah,
about you
absolutely.
and this relationship and where it's going to go?
Sure, go for it.
All right, so Prince of Discs above, the Emperor, the Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have an element. So the final outcome we have so far, though, I wouldn't say final outcome. It's there's a lot going on. Man, my thought deck is being a bastard tonight. Jesus. All right.
That's the risk you take.
All right. Well, Vapula says it's a good thing you got somebody in your corner because you got a lot of like elements against you right now. But the final outcome is going to be a lot of success. You're going to be, I think, a lot more successful than you previously thought imaginable. You're going to have to learn how to interact with men and how to have them respect your authority. There's going to be sacrifices to be made for enlightenment, but I think you already know that. But there is a certain element of futility too, where some of it is you just having to like try and balance things out. The Moon in Libra, and the Seven of Swords. You have Saturn and Sagittarius too, so Thanksgiving is going to be really hard for you this year. But ultimately, you have some really good things coming your way. And Vapula is like, yeah, girl, like I'm your dude, and I'm really gonna help nurture you. I think in some ways, even like he's gonna be almost like a spiritual father in some ways, figure. So
yeah.
I hope that sounds accurate.
I'm gonna sense I get.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you were 100%. You were 100%.
Yeah. Hagenti,
it's always really helpful because I read myself a lot, like probably pretty thoroughly, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And it's always very validating to hear you, an experienced tarot reader, totally verify everything that I've read myself. That's always a good idea.
Confirmation readings are amazing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Every time Joe and I hang out, he always pulls a couple cards for me, and it's always right in line with what I'm reading for myself, which is awesome. So thank you, Joe, in retrospect for all those readings.
That is so cool.
Yeah, well,
I remember.
I appreciate you putting up with how much of a douchebag I am sometimes. So.
Okay, how is Joe a douchebag? I need to know. What does he do that's douchebaggy?
Let's see. Let's pick an incident. No. Joe is a very dominant masculine energy, and he has very few scruples. Let's look at it this way.
Bro. I was just gonna say.
Hey, I'm not being an asshole. Come on.
No, that sounds like a proper weirdo to me.
Oh,
One of the
yeah.
most ethical terrorists you'll ever meet.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna tell me that he like tried to kill you with what kind of piano wire or something like that.
No, that's water.
Oh, a garrote? No.
Yeah, can you
I will
remember
tell
that
you-
one watermelon tried to get piano wire from your store and then strangle you with it?
Yeah, that was after he walked in looking for drumsticks.
Yeah, that was afterwards.
All coked
Yeah.
out on crack cocaine.
Well, he got
And
it from
catnip. Oh my God, he got the good catnip.
Yeah.
I will tell you a funny story though.
Oh, great.
As Joe knows, my altar is on my piano, and I've had a bunch of gigs lately with the piano, so I had to move everything around in order to access my piano. And I knocked. Who did I knock over? I think I knocked over something on Lilith's little area, and she got all pissed off.
Your cat got all pissed?
No,
No,
spirit.
Lilith.
Oh, sorry. How do you know she was pissed?
He let you know.
Yeah, she.
I don't work.
You know when somebody gives you
She's
the
not
side
close.
eye, you get kind of an energy from it.
Yeah, okay. You were feeling that side
I
eye
got
energy.
side eye energy.
Yeah, you were hoping for
side-eye, yeah.
side boob, but you got side eye. That's no good.
I totally got side eyed.
You're like,
Yeah,
Lilith, come
but,
on,
you
get
know,
the boobs back out.
So spirits that have good humor, you should be able to put them on a movable altar. But ones that don't have good humor, you should have them on a special altar.
Yeah.
Divas.
Yeah, the divas need their own places. Yeah.
Mood.
You take Nicole, Janine. I really appreciate you calling me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. It was nice
Let me
to
give you
meet you,
a big
Natalie.
microphone.
Thank you for singing for us.
No problem. If you're ever in Salem, come say hi.
Okay, I totally will. I'm just gonna
She should take a
we'll just start singing together. Like we can just start harmonizing and just be total dorks. Maybe we could get
Can I even tell you? I was going to say, can I even tell you how many people I sing with who just walk up to me? I sing Caro Mio Ben with a voice major from Salem State University about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. I think it is weird when people sing together randomly, but it's beautiful.
Oh, totally. Totally.
We gotta let Nicole on. So.
Oh, she's not on.
That's fine.
No, nobody. Nicole's not called.
Oh well, she's trying to.
Okay,
So,
good.
Yeah, because I want to get this
All
girl
right.
on.
Well, I'll talk.
Love you, Janine.
Yeah. All right, dude. I'll see you at some point. Whatever. We'll get together.
Bye, girl. Thank you. Okay, so your friend hasn't called. Let me give her the number 213-233-3998.
Yeah, she's another reader. I want to get her on and bump her, but she's being shy right now. So.
What? There she is. What's her name again?
Nicole.
Nicole. Okay. There you are, Nicole. Hi.
Hi. I was listening and I was just enjoying the show and waiting. So. And then when he was like,
listen to
Nicole.
that crappy hold music. It's horrible.
Really.
I accidentally played the hold
it's super
music for the
entertaining.
first 5 minutes of the show one time, and it was like, what is this shit?
Nicole is one of the best tarot readers I've ever met in my entire life. I call her every week. What shop are you reading out of right now, Nicole?
Hold on just a second. I'm checking if it's volume better. What was your question?
I said, are you reading out of a shop right now, Nicole?
Reading out of
a shop.
A shop in Salem right now?
Just yes, I am.
Okay. Well, where can people book a reading with you?
Okay, yes. No, I'm at Crowhaven Corner in Salem. That's on Essex Street. I'm there on the weekends a lot.
Yeah, so Nicole's she's like really magical AF too. She knows her stuff. She knows a little bit of like almost every system. We have many great conversations because she's just so experienced in divination. Have you been doing a lot of runes lately, Nicole?
Yeah, like I said, I spend a lot of my weekend doing readings for people in Salem, and I do a lot of other readings for family and friends, like in my community. I'm kind of like the on-call visiting divination helper person and sometimes security guard. So, I end up doing a lot of readings. What's that?
I know the feeling of being impromptu security guard.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah, I'm okay.
Seems to know the jack of all trades position as well.
Yeah, it's true. We have things in common. We become friends.
Well, I think Nicole and I knew each other in a past life.
Oh, how cool.
I think so.
It's possible because, for instance, Joseph, I'm not much of a phone talker, but it seems as though people that I know already are the people I end up having conversations with on the phone, like extended ones. And you're one of those people. We call each other up randomly.
Huh, that's interesting. Why do you think that you guys might be, from past lives? Do you have you looked up my term past life aggression?
No.
I put it in the Urban
Oh my
Dictionary.
God, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like if somebody like fucked you in a past life and you're still mad about it, you got past life aggression.
That's great. My God, I love it. Dude, that is mood right there.
Mood, that's right.
Terrible mood. Past life aggressive towards. It seems like half the world's past life aggressive towards me. So maybe I was Vlad the Impaler.
You were probably just a horrible person in the last life.
I was probably like a war criminal in one of my past lives, because
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely hosed some blood down a drain.
Yeah. Whoops. Things happen.
At least you had a drain.
I'm feeling like a terrible.
I know.
No.
Count your blessings.
No, that's specific from a theme at one point. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, okay.
So you were probably too like some kind of like female or male probably Nordic warrior too,
Yeah,
loincloths.
I've had a lot.
Blood splat with axes and clubs.
Yeah. No, I actually have a thing about loincloths, even though I'm a woman. I went through a phase where I just was wearing that shit at festivals, like just around my waist.
Oh my gosh, how
cinched.
Cool.
Conan style.
And so I don't know. I hadn't really made that association until just now, but I'm like, maybe that's what that's about.
Oh my God,
I don't know.
So see, you got it. I haven't even pulled cards yet, and I already read something because
yes, and we have 4 minutes.
I have known loincloths. We never talked.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pulling cards for you right now. And we have 4 discs.
Okay, cool.
2 of swords. So you need to stop working so much because you're not getting paid enough.
Not enough what? Enough?
You're not making enough money for how much you work.
You need to spend more time in the bathroom.
Yeah, you need to spend more time.
Like pampering myself?
Taking a shit like in the
There's
forest.
an aspect of collaboration coming up in the next 3 months.
Yes, collaboration. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have 4 discs, 5 of discs, 2 of swords, 3 of discs.
Oh, so yeah, baby. Sorry.
Yeah, so and it's the Thoth deck. I'll take a picture and send it to you. I'm sure it makes sense to you.
And I just want to point out that 2 of those are bathroom cards. So I think you should just spend as much time and work in the bathroom. You can just say you're pooping and just do lines of coke off the back of the toilet.
Oh my God.
Oh.
You might need to get the energy.
I've never done that before.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. What am I talking about? Jeez, nobody's ever done that. That's horrible.
I look good. I feel good. I look good. I feel good.
No, it's funny you say that. I love to take I love taking pictures of myself in the mirror and the lighting in my bathroom. So what it might mean is that I can do some good, creative, interesting, like imagery in the bathroom.
There you go.
Also,
and this
yes,
is just my bad tarot reading version, so do what you will with it.
No, it's good. I'm okay. I went there in like a like journeyed there, and I felt the feelings of it. I like had a moment where I encapsulated that for some later time where I can enjoy. Yeah.
That's beautiful. I think I can feel it. Okay, so what is your summation of your reading?
Okay, yes, it's true. I'm working a lot. I'm a Capricorn,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in 5 different bands, and I do the tarot reading, and I'm like about to start to pick up additional work since schedule change, and yeah, some of it's lucrative, sometimes it's not, and it's true that it's been hard spending with my family. That's changing now that my daughter is out of school for the summer, and we're going to be able to do summer school and, go all sorts of places. So like, that's good. If you're saying spend more time with my family, that's about to start happening more. And I look forward to the hiking and the beaches and the museums and the reading and the French lessons and whatever else. She's like into the keyboard and yeah. So,
well, thank you
and
for
then
calling.
Sorry,
go ahead. Well, we have 1 minute 30 seconds, so I just had to cut you off. But thank you so much for calling, Nicole.
No problem.
And thank you, Joseph.
Go book a reading with Nicole at Crowhaven. And if you're in Salem, go book a reading with her. She's amazing.
Yeah, do that.
I am friendly.
Yeah, she's
I'd make you
friendly.
sing.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
Bye, Carlin. Oh, she
Bye.
sings amazing too. Actually, she's another amazing singer. I've had 2 amazing singers call us. So.
Yeah, I wish if we had more time, I'd be making her sing too. And we have another person calling, but we're not going to have time for them because we have 30 seconds till the end of the show. So it's Hagen Michael.
Oh, okay.
But thank you so much for being here. Next week, we're going to have Joshua D. Peterson, and he just opened his own shop. He's really going to be really interesting to talk to about the process of how all that goes. And you have been so interesting, Joseph, and thank you for doing my first 2-hour show and doing all these readings.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you to all the listeners, and tell them next week. Keep it.